Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the DrEnderPickles show. Today I have Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong, can you introduce yourself?
Well, first of all, hello to all of you, and well, as you all know, I am Sun Wukong. I have been playing on 2D since around April 2015. I joined in the tail end of the third incursion, and to be honest, the first few months were nothing noteworthy, except for that one time I had an argument with people and things happened and things were said, but nothing really that notorious until 2016 and summer. That was interesting.
Yes, that was a very interesting time on the server, I think, for everybody. It drove a lot of people away, but it also, brought a lot of folks together.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about 2016, especially summer, is that it was hectic. It was kind of what I had pictured a more active time would be on a server like this. But as time went on, I started to realize this is bad. Like, the server itself is changing in a way that I personally didn't like, and that led to me joining up with. First of all, I joined up with Sato when I don't even know who was at spawn, but they just said, "Hey, wanna come kill all these assholes because they're at spawn?" They worded a bit more strongly, but that was the general idea. And they said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So like three of us went down spawn, killed a lot of people, and then I met, well, first of all, Sato, then Octopia, then next CC2. And from that, I just got invited to the incursion. And from there wasn't really anything notorious about me until the Fourth Reich happened.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the Fourth Reich and how the group operated.
Okay, so um, this was like in the middle of the sixth incursion, right? Uh, in that period, we had the Vortex coalitions starting to make a lot of shit posts about inviting a lot of the new kids into the group and everything. And this guy, Tim McNippens, decided that he wanted to make a shitpost war with them because why the hell not? And to be fair, it's not a bad idea. It's a kind of a good time if you're into that sort of thing. But it had a little problem. He was using a lot of the same messaging and ideas that Sato and a lot of the people at the inclusion wanted to use. So they didn't know what to do with them because they weren't openly hostile, but they were, well, douchebags, for to use a term. So he just proposed, hey, let's do this. We just proposed them as sort of alliance, like scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of deal. And it worked out. So that's how it started, at least for them, in the server when just making shitposts until I made the first lag machine. Because after that, Henry and I decided, hey, you know what, this is kind of dead. Let's join up with them. And then we started briefing kind of everything. Because why not?
Exactly. When you can grief everything.
Yes.
Sun Wukong 2018.
I mean, it was still 2016. Pretty much anything you hit was guaranteed to be nothing of value.
So you were involved in the Fourth Reich. What other major projects have you really been involved in, or major groups?
Okay, so there's obviously some things I can't talk about because they're ongoing things. But aside from the Fourth Reich, it was with the Spawn Masons that I was invited by Hermetic Luck. And during that time, I was involved in directing, and well, not really directing, but helping organize and then helping build a series of bases. Some of them a lot more successful than others. There was this one called this place, Lucativium. Think about this place is it was in Savannah, right?
Yeah.
In Switzerland, crossing down to, well, I don't know if it's Switzerland. I have to check a map right now, but it's in the French Alps, and the whole idea is that it's a really winding road, and the base was basically all over the place. So you say, let's call it the Stelvio Pass, or just Stelvio. No, people wanted to call it the Shrek Swamp. I was violently opposed to that. So it ended up being called a mix of Vulcan, Stelvio, and something else. It's just a mess. But it was a pretty cool place. It looking like the series of platforms, kind of like Hollywood Hills. It was quite an amazing place. So pretty much for whole projects, it's been places like that, or something like the highway tunnels. I was too late to join the X Plus team, but I did help the C Plus, and I did kind of leave some interesting signs at the end there. In the 30 million border. I wonder if anyone has already seen them.
Back to what you're saying about the Spawn Masons, right? I haven't had many guests on that have spoken a lot about that group. What can you say about some of the activities and bases that you did and when your time in the Spawn Masons, and sort of how that group operated?
Well, so okay. In the earlier days, it was a whole lot more active, mostly because there was so much more to do in the server that didn't involve dying to a horde of crystal PvP players at spawn. So what we used to do is we would set up a meeting at spawn. And when I say at spawn, I mean at spawn, like within the 500 block radius or whatever it was before it got expanded. And we would just make a little hut out of pretty much anything available and make meetings. In that particular instance, or rather that particular period, we'd have either Baba J, Spartacus, Hermetic Luck, one time me, there was another time that Jack headed the meeting at the Space Vault, and some other small places. But we just would build a hut, make the meeting, kill anything that wasn't us approaching, blow up the thing, and then go grieve someone. Like people would say, "Oh, hey, look, this D group has a cool little base at 20k. Let's blow it up to hell." And we would proceed to do that, and it would be a jolly good time. And it was. It kind of gave us something to do and to be kind of like great if you were to be that kind of person. So that would be most of what we would do on Saturdays. Other days we just kind of hang around, go to kind of spawn base, make our own bases, look for places to destroy, that kind of thing. And then everyone would continue on their own personal projects, kind of like when Slappin, Toshi, and all the groups were at Winter Melon, then later on Summer Melon, and things like that. But like always, that kind of thing didn't last. You see, the thing about such an approach is it's bound to fail when people start to feel entitled to certain things. And when it failed was when sorry, Summermelon was revived and Alpha Computer. They thought they were getting someone else in the group. I think it was Autopia. I'm not entirely sure. But unlike Wintermelon, where I thought they were getting Toma or Jaden or however people know him, and that I warned them. That time I had no idea it was coming. So by the time it happened, people were surprised and angry. And everything I want to ask is, why are you so mad that you got grieved? Because first of all, this is 250. You're retarded if you're thinking you're never getting grieved. And second of all, not only have I done the same, I enabled the same before. So it makes no sense for you to do this kind of thing. So you could say that Spawn Masons as the meme shitpost machine kind of died when Fred decided that he wanted a piece of the fun, which is a shame because he's a really cool guy when working in a group.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on Fid? Just in general.
Just in general, okay. First of all, one thing needs to be made clear. I don't give a damn he made a YouTube channel. I don't give a damn that he basically monetized Twitch. That's his own prerogative. Who gives a damn? But what I really care about is him as a person, and him as a person is he's just a guy that likes to play Minecraft when he's not being an actual human being, something that most of the player base seems to forget when they're playing on TV. That's kind
When
of the
he's
reason why.
not being an actual Tard Wrangler.
Yes, exactly. It's just I'm it's kind of the reason why I also stopped playing 2B for a long time because I realized it's plain unhealthy on every single level. To invest yourself on a server like
Oh
this.
yeah, I totally agree. It's like you invest so much time into this server, you don't realize how much you can do when you're not playing. It's like there's
Yeah,
these chains that hold you down, and yeah, 2B can be fun sometimes. It has a lot of really good moments, but it's also just this big power struggle that you've got to be so deeply involved in, or you're just gonna fall behind.
exactly. And it comes to the point where you just say, you know what? I've made my friends, I've made my enemies, I've done whatever the hell I wanted to do. Fuck it. You know what? This is not only unhealthy, it's pointless. And Fed realized it so long ago, it's not even fun. So personally, I think he's a pretty cool guy. He could do with a little more PR to avoid some of the drama, but I don't think he really cares. And I don't think it's going to affect anything.
Oh yeah,
So,
he can say anything he wants in his videos or any kind of fake news, any of that. He doesn't care because he makes money. You know, he doesn't care that it confuses the mass majority of the player base. When he says stuff that isn't true, it doesn't really matter to him because it all really
I
goes into
mean,
the same piggy bank.
that's true, but sometimes he also says things that, as far as he knows, are true. But at the end of the day, if you
But I
care
mean,
that
yeah,
much about to be history, you should be asking the people that were there because it's not like the people
exactly.
aren't in the server. It's your
It's
own
like
damn fault you're missing for.
when you have the responsibility to report information like that, you shouldn't just base it off of as far as you know. It needs to be based off of everything you can compile. You should have like concrete, like hard evidence of this stuff before you go out there and start saying stuff. Because a lot of it
Mm-hmm.
is, I mean, it's not going to be true if you just base it off of what you've heard.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it about Fred. I like the guy. I think he is pretty stand up, and that people should actually try and imitate him a bit more before calling him a pedophile because he's the one that actually got out of to be with one up above all of us.
I mean, but didn't he like drink with like some teenage girls? I mean, that's kind of sketchy if you ask me. I mean,
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want to trigger anybody, but you know,
I mean,
That
okay,
the evidence stacks up.
okay, fine. I'm not
So
going to say anything because Mexico. So fine, let's leave it at that.
you got to keep quiet, or the Spawn Masons are gonna sacrifice you at their next black mass
They're going to sacrifice me to the gods.
to the Overlord Housemaster.
Right.
So, what people have you just met in general? You said you met like Sato and a few others. What people have you met over your time that you've really like
Ooh.
have impacted you?
Well, I've met and let's begin with the people I've met and the ones I could say with certainty I've befriended. I've met Fed, Past CDC, Exodus. Who else? I've met the Fox. I've met James. I've met the XOXP. Tuna. That all of these people kind of painted a kind of spectrum of what I could expect of sort of the old guard of 2015 and what the culture was like concretely before 2016. Because even though I was during 2015 and part of 16, I didn't really get involved in the community, so I couldn't say, "Hey, I know this happened because of this," because that would be pretentious as fuck. First of all, but it would also be untrue. Like, didn't really know anyone, didn't really participate in any of the events before 2016. So that's kind of it. But for the people I befriended, like again, Exodus, Henry, maybe Fit, but certainly Doc Smart is a great guy, and you get to know him. Surprisingly, Demon Elite people will read him what he says
Yeah,
in chat to be.
that's funny. I've always wanted to have Demon Elite on because I know he's played for a very long time.
Yeah, when he is talking to you and you can hold a conversation with him, he's actually quite a nice guy. Not so much with Tuna. He's 100% everything you think he is. It's amazing talking with him, but he will most certainly fill your ears with the most vile things ever said.
I know. I'm
Hilarious, by
very
the way.
excited to have Tuna on. Hopefully, Tuna will want to be on the show because
Hopefully.
that'll get my channel deleted.
That's a certainty. He was shared his actual word cloud. I don't remember. I think it was Dota. It was the top 4 words were racial slurs across 1,000 matches. So yes, that's Tuna in a nutshell, basically. The same with his Twitch channel. But yeah, Demon on the other hand, you would think he's the same, and sort of. He sometimes talks like that, but he's mostly just a guy. He's pretty cool. And so happens with a lot of the other people I've met. On the other hand, we have people like Tim McNippens, who I suspect that a lot of players from 2016, not so much the ones that came after in 2017 and 2018, will remember him as kind of an asshole, kind of someone that only cared about killing you repeatedly and without mercy. And he was kind of weird because he was sometimes cool, sometimes really aggressive, and I wouldn't be able to tell you why. Just that he was.
Yeah,
So
didn't
yeah,
he? Doesn't he lead the Fourth Reich, or is he a part of it back when it was
he
active?
was the one that made it
Yeah,
and the one that led it.
that's what I thought.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing him around back then, but I wasn't really active on the server when the Fourth Reich was prominent. So
I mean, the only reason it was prominent was because, frankly, nobody else had the balls to do anything interesting. It, you'd be surprised at how easy. Most people would be surprised actually at how easy it was to do half the shit we got away with. It was retarded easy. But on the other hand, truth is that I stayed mostly with it because back when I proposed the idea to Sato, the incursion was like, okay, what if this gets out of control, out of hand, and we need to kind of bring it back? They said, well, I have to do something about it. And that's when. Do you remember when people thought that the Impact client was backdoor?
Yes, I remember that.
It wasn't. It was me. It
Wait,
was an
what?
amazing series of timing that led people to believe that the Impact was back me.
That's funny. Wait, why did people believe it was backdoored?
I I don't even know why. I just got annoyed with Tumor one day, and I wanted to steal his shit. So I knew where one of his stashes was. So one day I go to the place and I realize he's moving this. So I take anything of value still up. I move it to some spot like 20k away or something like that, maybe a bit further. And then I tell Henry, and he goes, "Okay, I'll help you." We start moving everything, and 6 hours later, Tumor comes in, and he's mad, like actually legit mad, and threatening everyone in the Discord, the perfect Discord, to tell us to tell him what happened. Then I get pulled into a private call, and I get told, "Hey, we suspect something happened. Help us search." And that gave me the perfect chance to make a hub, set up some fake evidence, and tell Tumor, "Hey, I think somebody made this and then moved your shit with either Elytra or Perils." He fell for it. And then Tim told me, "I know you moved it," or I think I told him I moved it, and he just told me, "Yeah, okay, I'll help you." He gives me a ballpark of the spot Tumor was moving it. Turns out that when I find the place, Tumor had locked up for like 15 minutes, just enough for me to steal all his scalpels, everything of value that he had on his inventory before logging out. And when he comes back, he just panics. He thinks it's impossible this happened on a coincidence. I've been backdoored. He makes his post on Tweet's team, and from there on out, people thought Impact is back me.
So
And when we
technically,
told him,
technically, you're the reason people thought Impact was backdoor.
yes,
That's funny.
when we told this to the developer, he was laughing his ass off. He just
See,
couldn't
because even
believe
I
it.
did back then, because I remember hearing that it was backdoor, and I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry about that.
That's great. Um, okay. Well, I want to backtrack a little bit, so I can get to know more about you.
Okay,
How did you find 2v2t? I know I found it in like a
fortune.
magazine. So you found it on 4chan, right?
Yeah, yeah. There
Okay.
was. I was looking for a server that gave vanilla Minecraft or as close as possible, nothing else. And I have been looking for a long time because I got this game where I can build whatever I want, and every single server with a multiplayer experience is some sort of bullshit minigame set on a non-player editable world. And the first thing I remember asking myself is, why the hell would people do this to themselves? Why? And then I go to Fortune, I see BG, Minecraft General. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go in there, and in the in the um, in the sticky the copy paste post they will make for the first post. There in the server list is 2B2T front and center. There you go. This is the AP. Join. Beware. It's toxic as hell. Everything else is on your own. Then I looked in and then I got killed by Silver. And
By
that's pretty
Silver
much how
Crown
it went.
King.
Yeah, Silver Crown King. That was pretty much how my first day went.
And where did you go from there? Just on the server, like what
I
was your
went
first
down.
sign? What was your first sign of wealth on 2B?
the day that Pyrobites found spawn with beacons and diamond blocks from their impedance, I went there and mined everything.
That's
Yes,
great.
I'm not proud of that, but hey, it saved me
Hey,
the
yeah,
grind.
everybody finds their footing somewhere. Everyone finds their start somewhere. You
It
know,
saved the grind for a lot of things, and it got me beacons when Windows were disabled, so I don't actually regret it
and
now.
it's a vicious cycle too because you think you have everything and then you lose everything and you just keep starting over and over and over. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
again, what you were talking about earlier, 2v2t, it just kind of drains your life. You know, you got to be starting over and getting all this stuff over and over again.
yeah. Good old city.
So, I want to kind of wrap the interview up and ask you, what you've learned from 2v2t, what advice you can give to other players that might be joining the server even today. Maybe they're watching this video now because they searched 2v2t and they said, hey, DrEnderPickles is a cool guy. What can you say to those people that are just now joining?
Okay, first of all is stop making everything about your politics or how offended you are. Just let go and enjoy it. Because if you're already here to waste your time, you might as well make it worth it. Other than that, honestly, just have a stiff upper lip and carry on. Shit happens. Deal with it. It's going to keep happening, and the only way you're going to keep on going is if you just learn to take it and either do something about it or move on and improve. That's how real life works, and that's how you should conduct yourself in a server where no one is going to babysit you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, I mean, you can't uh, stay in that same ideology that there's going to be plot claims and no griefing, and I mean, you've got to be prepared to just get dirty, I guess, to get your
Mm-hmm.
like just go crazy.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
people are not going to give you your dues just because you exist,
and
because
you
someone
got to have a
else.
lot of patience too, you know.
Yeah, you have to just be ready to try over and over and over again, because that's how real life is. So just keep at it if you really like it. Just don't be offended by everything that touches the sun.
All right, well, I think this has been a really good interview. I'm glad I could have you on.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
All right, then that's gonna be the Dr. Pickles show signing off.